always wanted to have a Yacht-Master, but instead of buying one, I decided to build one. And this is where everything started. Let's take a look at all the parts I picked for this build. The first part is going to be this 40mm rose gold case. It's got ceramic bezel, sapphire crystal, and open case back. It also has a screw down crown. It is 13.5mm thick, and it is advertised as 100 meters water resistant. For the strap, I picked this black rubber oyster flag style strap with a matching rose gold clasp that complements the case. I paid $49.60 for the case and the strap, including free shipping, and it has 4.7-star review with 276 pieces sold. Next we have the dial enhanced. This is a 28.5mm Yacht-Master style dial. It is compatible with an H35 movement. I got gold hour and minute hand with a red second hand, but the seller accidentally sent me silver once. I actually think the silver should work pretty well with the black dial and rose gold case. The dial enhanced cost me $16.68 with a free shipping. The dial has 4.6-star rating review with 444 pieces sold. For the movement, I'm going with classic in H35. It is probably the most popular choice for this DIY build. It is reliable, easy to work with, and compatible with this case. This one cost me $62.89 with free shipping. It has an impressive 4.9 rating from over 4,600 reviews and more than 10,000 pieces sold. I will link a free PDF file for you in the description to this video with all the parts, tools, and step-by-step guide in case if you want to copy this build. Okay, step number one, we're gonna need to take the dial, and if we flip it over, you can see 4 legs at the back of the dial. So what we're gonna need to do is to cut 2 legs first, 1 leg from each side. To figure out which one you need to keep and which one needs to go, you can simply place the dial onto the movement, and in that case you can see which leg needs to stay. So let's cut the second side. Okay, now let's file the back of the dial, trying to keep it as flat as possible from each side. Good. And now we can clean it with a piece of Rodico. Let's try to keep it as clean as possible. Let's give it a little bit of blow with hair blower, and we can give it a little bit of brush. Good. Now it's time to take the movement. Let's give it a blow to the movement. Let's try to keep every single part as clean as possible. And what we're gonna need to do right now is to place the dial onto the movement. The H35 has 2 holes in it, and our dial has 2 legs left. So we just simply place it, and we're gonna need to fit those legs into the movement holes. Just slowly. We don't wanna rush anywhere. One side is done, and let's press the second side, and it is looking good. Now let's give it a little bit of press. Okay, and now we can pick the dial with the movement, and we can give it a little bit of push all the way around the dial, making sure it is sitting flat onto the movement. Okay, and let's set the time at 12 o'clock simply by rotating the crown and waiting for the date to change. It is changing right now. Just let's go slowly. Good. Now we are at 12 a.m. and we can move to the next step. Now it's time to set the hands. I'm going to be using super simple AliExpress hand press tool, and I'm going to start with hour hand. I'm using a piece of Rodico to hold the hour hand, and I'm using black hand press tool to press it into its place. The hand needs to be set at 12 o'clock. Good. Now let's give it a little bit of clean with piece of Rodico, and let's clean it with lens cleaning pen as well. Let's try to keep everything clean, and let's give it a full 24-hour spin, making sure the hand is working properly. And let's check if the date changes right at midnight. Okay, Good. Now let's set the minute hand. I'm using the same piece of Radica and silver hand press tool. The minute hand needs to be installed at 12 o'clock as well. Just gentle press. Okay, now let's clean it up with a piece of Radica and let's use the same lens cleaning pen. Now let's give it another 24-hour spin. Let's make sure the hands are working properly, they're not touching each other, and let's make sure the date is changing right at midnight. Okay, we're almost there. Good. Now it's time to set the second hand. I'm using a piece of Radica and red hand press tool. The second hand can be installed in any position. This one is the most difficult hand to set. Good. And let's push the crown. Let's wind the watch and let's see if the second hand is working. And it is running perfectly. Looking good to me. And let's test all the hands one more time. Let's see if they're working properly, if they're not touching each other, and it is looking good to me. And we can move to the next step. Next step, we're gonna need to remove the stem out of the movement. We're gonna need to flip it over, and at the back of the movement, you're gonna see a little release point. The stem needs to be pushed all the way into the movement. With a little pin we can press that release point and simply pull the crown. Good. Now let's unscrew the crown of the case. Okay, good. And let's take the stem. Usually when you purchase the NH35 movement, it usually comes with the stem. So let's just simply screw the crown onto the stem. Good. Now let's clean the case crystal. I'm using lens cleaning pen. Let's clean the front and let's clean from the inside. Okay, and let's give it a little bit of blow with air blower. Good. The front side as well. Good. Now let's give it a closer look. The crystal is looking quite clean. From the inside, it is looking clean as well. So we can move to the next step. So we can place the case on top of the dial slowly with no rush. Okay, and let's give it a closer look. And the watch is looking pretty good. The color combination is really nice. I do like the match of the black and rose gold color. And now let's flip it over. Let's see what's going on from the back. The movement is sitting fully inside of the case. So now we can take the crown and the stem and we can insert the stem into the movement. Just slowly, a little bit of push and rotation at the same time. Good. Now we're fully in. Looking good. And we're gonna need to measure the distance between the crown and the case thread, because we're gonna need to adjust the stem size. I'm using digital caliper and it seems like we're gonna need to cut 4.5 millimeters. Now it's time to remove the stem out of the movement one more time. Okay, good. And let's unscrew the crown of the stem. Okay, perfect. Now let's insert and secure the stem into the pin vise. Okay, good. And it is time to cut the stem. I'm going to cut a little bit less just in case. I don't want to overcut it and I don't want to waste the stem. Good. Now let's file the stem. In that case, we're gonna remove all the sharp edges after we cut it, and we're not gonna damage the crown thread. And it is looking good to me. Now let's give it a clean with a piece of Rodico. Okay, and we can screw the crown back onto the stem. Okay, now let's remove the stem and the crown out of the pin vise, and I'm gonna take my metal tweezers to make sure the crown is screwed all the way in onto the stem, and it is time to insert the stem into the movement. Just slowly, gentle push and rotation at the same time. Okay, good. Now we're fully in, and it is looking quite good to me, to be honest. Now let's pull and push, and yeah, everything is working. Okay, let's screw the crown onto the case thread. Okay, and let's give it a closer look, and actually it is looking quite good. Maybe it's not perfect, but it is pretty close. So let's unscrew the crown of the case thread, and let's remove the stem out of the movement. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna file the stem a little bit, and I'm pretty sure the stem size is gonna be quite perfect. So let's unscrew the crown of the stem. Good, and let's take our diamond needle file so we can file the stem a little bit more. Okay, and a little bit more again. Good, and let's clean it up with a piece of Rodico. Good, now let's apply a little bit of thread locker. In that case, we're gonna secure the crown so it's not gonna get loose over time. Let's screw the crown onto the stem. Okay, good. Now let's clean the thread locker leftovers with paper towel. Good. Okay, and let's take metal tweezers. Let's make sure the crown is screwed all the way in onto the stem. And now we can clean it up with a piece of Rodico. Let's try to keep everything as clean as possible. And now we can insert the stem with the crown back into the movement. I'll go slowly, a little bit of rotation and gentle press. Good. Now let's screw the crown back onto the case thread. It's kind of hard doing that wearing finger cuts. Okay, and let's give it a closer look, and it is actually looking quite good to me. And we can move to the next step. Now we can take the case back, and we can take the seal greaser. Okay, and what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna lubricate the gasket. So let's pick it up with metal tweezers. Okay, and let's place it into the seal greaser. Good, and a couple of twists are gonna be enough. Good, now let's pick it back, and now we can place it into the case groove, and hopefully I'm gonna get a little bit of water resistance. Again, this case is advertised as 100 meters water resistant, but without proper pressure testing, I wouldn't rely on that water resistance, but it's gonna be good enough for everyday wear. Now let's clean the case back. We can give it a little bit of blow, and we can clean the crystal with lens cleaning pen from both sides. We're gonna be able to see the movement, so let's try to keep the case back crystal as clean as possible. Good, and now we can take our case and we can screw the case back onto the case. Good. I'm gonna do it by hand for now, as much as I can. Okay. Good. And let's take rubber ball and let's try to screw it as much as we can, and hopefully we're gonna get a little bit of water resistance. Good. Let's give it a closer look. The open case back looking absolutely beautiful. And let's give it a look at the front of the case. It is looking really nice. And let's quickly set the bracelet. One side is done. Good. Let's do the other side. Good. Okay, and let's secure the clasp so we can take a look at the watch we just built.
Yeah, I'm so fresh like the morning.